Welcome to the New Jersey Morning Show. I'm Dina Deleasa-Gonsar filling in for Kara.
And I'm Mike Favetta. It's great to be here today. Dina, hope you had a wonderful end of your summer.
I did. Always sad to see it go, but excited for what the fall is going to bring.
Absolutely. Lots of warm weather ahead. We'll get to the forecast in just a bit.
I'm looking forward to that. But first up, New Jersey rock legend Jon Bon Jovi became an unexpected hero on Tuesday evening when he helped avert a potential crisis on a pedestrian bridge in downtown Nashville. Take a look at the surveillance video provided by Nashville Metro Police. You can see Bon Jovi notice the woman and approach her. She was standing precariously on the outer edge, seemingly preparing to jump into the Cumberland River.
Yeah, that's an impressive video. Bon Jovi, known for his compassionate nature, along with his team, approached the woman, as you can see in the video, and managed talking to her out of jumping. Emergency responders, including the Nashville Fire Department and Metro Nashville Police, arrived shortly after to assist. I mean, incredible to see that play out right there from a surveillance video. That's something else.
Yeah, I mean, what a show of bravery and courage on Bon Jovi's part. I mean, I'm sure you'd be a little nervous walking into that situation, but glad that he took the initiative there.
It's true. It's true. A New Jersey hero in more than one way.
Of course.
4 juveniles are in custody after an online threat was made to several South Jersey schools. According to Woodbury Police Department, the juvenile who made the original threat on Sunday evening is a student from Woodbury. Police say a threat may have been a cry for help from the 12-year-old.
The 3 other students from Washington Township, Harrison, and Glassboro allegedly made similar threats. Police say they are most likely copycats who modified the original threat post. Investigators say the 4 juveniles do not know each other. As a result, schools in the Woodbury and Deptford school districts were closed on Monday. Deptford Township Police say criminal charges will be filed and there may be severe punishment issued from the school districts.
And in other news, investigators are still looking into what led to another school closure in Cape May County. According to Dennis Township Public Schools, school was canceled on Tuesday because they received a threat as high school buses were dropping off students. The threat said there were armed individuals at large in Dennis Township. According to the New Jersey State Police, there was an isolated incident Tuesday morning, and there are no active threats in any area of Dennis Township. It is still an active and ongoing investigation. So lots of people on edge, it seems, especially after this is the start of the school season.
Yes.
With what's been going on in the news, parents are concerned and people are on edge.
For sure, you're dropping your children off at school thinking it's a safe space, and it seems that more and more this is becoming a concern, which is really sad.
It is. Well, New Jersey has a new U.S. Senator. George Helmy was sworn into the U.S. Senate this week. He was appointed by Governor Murphy to replace Senator Bob Menendez, who resigned on August 20th following his conviction on corruption charges. Helmy will serve until the November election. Then he will step down, and Governor Murphy will appoint the winner of the U.S. Senate race, either Democrat Representative Andy Kim Republican Andy Kim or Republican Curtis Bushaw.
Helmy is the son of Egyptian immigrants and the first ever member of the Coptic Orthodox Church to serve in the Senate. George Helmy served as Governor Murphy's chief of staff and worked for Senators Frank Lautenberg and Cory Booker. Did you know that one of the... Oh, I'm so sorry, Mike.
No, it was a quick correction. Senator Kim is a Democrat. It was, I misspoke there.
Oh, great. No problem. Well, it's good you know all of that, like the back of your hand, it seems. Did you know that one of the moderators of the presidential debate is a Burlington County native? Lindsay Davis, the anchor of ABC News Prime Live and Sunday anchor of World News Tonight, was the co-moderator at the debate at the Philadelphia's Constitution Center. The location The location is familiar to Davis, who spent most of her youth living nearby in Medford and Morristown. She graduated from Morristown Friends School in 1995 before receiving her undergraduate degree from the University of Virginia and her master's from New York University. In addition to her career in journalism, Davis has published 6 books. Her latest, Girls of the World, was published in March this year and became a New York Times bestseller. Oh my goodness, I need more coffee this morning, Mike. I don't know
You know
about
what?
you.
But no, but it's not you. It's the Morristown and Moorestown debate. Because growing up near Morristown, as you're not
Yes,
far from there either, it you hear it and you kind of have to think like, wait, did they just say Morristown
yes,
or Moorestown? It's that kind of north-south debate that will never go away.
for sure, for sure. Thank you for being so kind about that.
No, it's this is the morning show.
Yes.
Speaking of debates, On New Jersey is hosting 3 general election debates in October. You can watch On New Jersey's Laura Jones moderate 3 debates: the U.S. Senate debate with Democrat Andy Kim and Curtis Bashaw on October 6th, the NJ 8 congressional debate with Representative Tom Kaine Jr. and Sue Altman on October 13th, and the NJ 9 congressional debate with Nellie Poe and Billy Priump. All of the debates are live and start at 8 p.m. So be sure to tune in. It's always important to follow the local politics, even though, this is
For
a
sure.
presidential election cycle with the national stage. The local, lawmakers are the ones that really
100%.
make, yeah, they make our,
Yes.
local our laws and guide our policies here in our own backyard.
For sure. That's kind of what affects us day to day as we wait for all the bigger stuff going on over our heads to happen. So I agree. I think that voting in every election you can locally is super important. So coming up, how Hyundai is working with a nonprofit to support a children's hospital here in New Jersey.
And if you were up earlier this week, you saw a special sight in the sky. We'll show you more about that
Huh?
in a few minutes. Good morning, everyone. I'm meteorologist Mike Favetta here. We have plenty of sunshine to start our day, but the big headline is what's going on down south as Hurricane Francine made landfall last night. You can see the storm now pulling away, especially losing a lot of strength, but there's still a ton of moisture there, and it's all about the rainfall going forward. So the 8 o'clock advisory from earlier today shows that while the storm has weakened its winds, it's not so much about the wind anymore. It's about that torrential rainfall and those buckets of rain that will continue falling down in the deep south that really don't move anywhere. While one storm is over and the Francine is now dissipating, there's another area of concern, and that's highlighted in yellow just off the East Coast to our south. It's really off the Carolinas. That may be our next tropical system that could move up in our direction by early to middle of next week. So something to watch, especially with the low probability of anything forming, at least until early next week. Water temperatures are warm for any further development, and even with the storm Francine now sitting and spinning kind of in the Midwest, just allowing for lots of rain to fall there. Back here in New Jersey, we have clear sky, but we also have poor air quality. You can probably see just how poor the air quality is with the haze in the sky, a little bit of not so much a foggy scene, but a hazy scene, as that pollution doesn't really have anywhere to go thanks to the very stagnant air. Now, it's a beautiful day. We started off this morning with temperatures in the 50s in Sussex County, 68 right now in Newark, and 66 in Long Branch, but we have dry weather to enjoy with just a touch of humidity going into this afternoon. And it's that very pleasant weather that we'll enjoy into the upcoming weekend. We'll tell you all about the weekend weather with your full weekend forecast. That's when On New Jersey continues after this. Welcome back. I'm Mike Favetta here with Dina Deleasa-Gonsar. Dina, did you see on Tuesday morning we had quite a sight? If you were up early and you noticed a strange thing in the sky, it wasn't a UFO, it was SpaceX's Polaris Dawn rising into the sky. Look at that photo. These pictures were taken at
Wow.
5 a.m. on Tuesday morning from Lambertville while the Polaris Dawn spaceship took off from Cape Canaveral in Florida, deploying 20 new Starlink internet satellites into orbit. Notably, 13 of these satellites are equipped with direct-to-cell technology aimed at extending mobile Starlink connectivity to users around the globe.
Wow. The launch, which experienced multiple delays before takeoff, had its liftoff time adjust following the launch. The rocket's landing trail provided a rare and spectacular sight. Illuminated by the dawn light, the trail remained visible for over an hour. Wow, that is really cool. I did not get to see that. I didn't even know that was going on, but what a unique thing to happen to be able to see.
Yeah, they say the early bird catches the worm, but to be up at 5 a.m. and stare at the sky really
Mm.
had to be up early.
I'm so glad there's photos because I am not one for 5 a.m. Well, next up, we are going to be hearing about Hyundai Hope on Wheels. Hyundai Hope on Wheels recently awarded Hackensack Meridian Children's Health at Joseph M. Cesari's Children's Hospital two generous grants, a $400,000 Hope Scholar research grant and a $100,000 impact grant. Here to tell us more is Executive Director of Hope on Wheels, John Gustafaro, and Dr. Burton Appel, Associate Professor of Pediatrics at Hackensack Meridian School of Medicine and Joseph Cesari's Children's Hospital. Welcome to the show. Thank you for being with us this morning.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Well, Gustafaro, we wanted to start with you. What is Hyundai's Hope on Wheels and what does it do?
Absolutely. Hyundai Open Wheels is a nonprofit foundation, part of the car brand Hyundai, started in 1998. So for 26 years, we've been helping kids fight cancer, and we primarily do this by funding innovative research, which helps drive new treatments and cures and everything in between. There's a lot of kids out there. Every 36 minutes, a kid's diagnosed with cancer. We want to make a difference, and we're doing that.
Oh, that's amazing. And I'm just wondering, what was the specific inspiration behind starting this nonprofit? Was there a specific event or someone that had this passion in their heart?
I guess like a lot of things, it started small. In a New England area, a couple Hyundai dealers wanted to donate to a local children's hospital, and they felt good doing it. They made a difference, and more dealers want to get involved. And then eventually, over the years, all 830 Hyundai dealers now contribute to this cause. And as we've learned from a federal level, from the National Institute of Health, only 4% of cancer funding goes to childhood cancer. And that's where we realize, wow, we're making a difference. We're this like in the corporate world that we could really make a difference where it's needed most for childhood cancer.
And Dr. Appel, what strides are being made with these funds and how does it, help Hackensack Meridian Children's Health?
Right. So, as you mentioned, there's two parts to this Hyundai grant. One very important part is to help us fund basic lab research, which is crucial, to moving treatment improvements in cancer in general, and particularly for rare cancers like pediatric cancers. So, one of my colleagues, Dr. Zakshevsky, is doing some really wonderful work in immunotherapies. But what I can speak to more, because I'm a clinician, is last year and this year, we've been fortunate to benefit from the Hyundai funding for a specific population of our patients, considered adolescents and young adults, what we call AYAs. And they're the kids and young adults 15 years and up who are significantly affected by a diagnosis of cancer, not just because they have a significant illness, but it's so full of life interruption. And all of us who know adolescents, have been adolescents, know it's a time of tremendous growth, uncertainty, exploration, and then suddenly, if you're hit with a cancer diagnosis, everything comes to a halt. And that this population really needs extra resources. And so we've been able to use the Hyundai funding to jumpstart our program by hiring a nurse navigator to work with our AYA patients to find out really more about what their needs are and help them to navigate this very difficult experience. And it's really already made a difference. And we're very excited that we're going to be able to move forward with this program.
Well, Dr. Appel, I think it's so important that you're talking about not just treating the symptoms and the disease itself, but helping patients essentially live their life to the best of their ability within this difficult situation. John, I'm wondering, how did Hyundai Hope on Wheels partner with Hackensack Meridian Children? How did that partnership come to fruition?
Absolutely. Well, we choose exemplary partners doing great work in this field, and they're among 175 institutions across the nation that we fund. And as Dr. Appel said, from the impact they provide and the support with a nurse navigator and other mechanisms, and as well as research. And they've been a partner with us since 2012, and over that course of time, we've awarded $850,000, and we know when we put that money in the hands like Children's Meridian Health, that they're going to truly make a difference. And I'm happy to say this year marks a milestone for Hyundai Up on Wheels. We've been doing this since 1998. Over that course of time, have awarded $250 million in funding to organizations like this, and we're so thrilled to do this. So thank you.
That is amazing.
That sounds incredible. Yeah, it really is. So where can we learn more information?
Absolutely. Go to HyundaiHopeOnWheels.org and follow us on social at Hyundai Hope on Wheels.
Well, Dr. Appel and John Gustafaro, thank you so much for joining us today on the New Jersey Morning Show.
Yeah, thank you very
so
much.
What a great cause. And to hear that they've been around for so long. This is not something new since 1998. You know, they've
That's
really got their really dug their heels into this cause.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, to me, this is a new organization. I haven't heard of it prior to this, but I think that's an amazing cause. A lot of people raise money for the actual disease, and I feel like this is it's doing that as well. But it's, again, like I said before, helping patients live their life within this really difficult time. And when you're diagnosed with something this heavy, how tough is it not only to keep up with your doctor's appointments and this, that, and the other thing, but it's true, the rest of your life kind of falls haywire, and to have someone come alongside of these patients and help them navigate that, organize that, so they can be doing something more than just doctor's appointments, I think is such a huge morale boost, which probably plays into their health in some way.
It is, and we thank them for that. Very grateful.
So next up, we meet a New Jersey-based flutist. We learn about her new album and how she got her start.
But first, we take a check of the forecast. We've got a gorgeous start to the day and a beautiful start to the weekend with lots of sunshine expected all weekend long. Highs this weekend in the 80s. They might even touch 90 in a few spots on Saturday with a little extra humidity too. So let's get started with that Saturday forecast. Around New Jersey, climbing to 86, over in Newark, 86 back by Trenton and Princeton. A little bit cooler toward the beaches. An excellent beach weekend, even as we move forward into Saturday. Now, Sunday brings back a little bit more of a cooler feel by a few degrees. I think you'll notice the humidity drop too by the second part of the weekend. And going into Monday, probably our last day of the 80s, because some cooler weather shuffles in with some clouds and likely rain by Tuesday into Wednesday. So there are the remnants of the storm, and you can see it really stretching across most of the country with all of that heavy rain. But notice the line, the cutoff that keeps us clear and prevents us from really seeing any clouds going into the weekend. It's that big high pressure that will keep us dry and rain free even through Monday into the first part of Tuesday. I think Tuesday night into Wednesday has better chances of seeing some of that wet weather toward the middle of the week. Clouds, not a one, but there are some wildfires, and we'll talk more about that coming up in our next weather segment, with some of those red dots you see there on the map some active wildfires happening across New Jersey. Those can actually be detected by satellites orbiting 22,000 miles above our heads. So some pretty nifty technology there, keeping us safe. As far as the smoke from Canadian wildfires and West Coast wildfires, that's what you see there in yellow. Most of it is across New York State, but there's a little tongue kind of sneaking into the central part of New Jersey, and that's what's lowering our air quality today, actually bringing it back to the moderate level. It's okay, I think, for most, but really, if you're sensitive and have asthma, that's likely going to drop the air quality level, and the health of the air is going to drop over the next few days. Futurecast shows us bone dry, cloud free too, going into most of the weekend. There might be a few spots of patchy fog early tomorrow morning, but even that clears out, and we've got a gorgeous weekend ahead with clear skies and warm weather all around. We'll take another check of your forecast and look at the 7-day weather. That's coming up after the break. Welcome back to the New Jersey Morning Show. I'm Mike Favetta, along with Dina Deleasa-Gonsar. Dina, firefighters in Berkeley Township have been working to contain a forest fire on the northern edge of the Pinelands. The area burning is uninhabited right now, so no structures are threatened, but there are schools and neighborhoods nearby. The fire started early Monday morning near the Garden State Parkway at exit 77. The cause is still under investigation.
That is scary. You usually just think about that in terms of California. I feel like I don't think of that happening here in New Jersey. Well, more trouble for retailers in New Jersey. Big Lots filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy this week. This comes after they announced the closure of approximately 300 of its 1,389 stores nationwide, including one in Woodbridge.
Big Lots assured that its stores and online operations will continue as usual, with gift cards and store credits still being honored. Big Lots currently operates 27 stores in the Garden State.
Montclair resident and musical powerhouse Allison Loggins Hull is a leading contemporary classical flutist and composer. She is the new resident artistic partner with the New Jersey Symphony. She's performing at Merkin Hall in Manhattan September 24th, and she has a new album out. Check this out. Wow, Allison, you are a busy bee. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Oh, we're so
It's our
excited.
pleasure. Absolutely. Tell us about your musical journey, and when and how did you choose to play the flute?
Oh gosh. Well, I actually fell in love with the flute at a very young age. I grew up in a very musical household, and that there was always music playing. And I fell in love with this album by a flutist named Hubert Laws. It's called The Rite of Spring, and there includes a number of covers of classic flute repertoire, but with a jazz spin and with a contemporary spin. And I just fell in love with the sound. I must have been like 4 or 5 years old, maybe. And I just kind of asked to play it year after year until I finally did. And I officially started in 5th grade when I was 10 years old. And we've been together ever since.
I love that. So now I'm thinking, wow, if my daughter starts an instrument in 5th grade, just maybe.
You never know. Just
Right,
maybe.
right.
Yeah.
Well, we love Montclair, and I'm just wondering, how did you end up living and teaching in Montclair?
Sure. Well, this is my 8th year here. And my husband and I and my son, we were living in Montclair, and my husband and I decided to expand in our family. And in planning, we were living in Brooklyn. And in planning for that, we just decided that it was time to kind of change our lifestyle a little bit. We wanted to get a little bit more space. We wanted to just kind of slow things down. We're both very busy professionals as well. So just anything to kind of simplify things felt really great. And in our research of towns that were in the New York City area, Montclair just kept coming up at the top in terms of the things that really were important to us. And we went to visit the town, and we looked at some houses, and we fell in love with it. And we've been here ever since. So this is our 8th year. And coincidentally, I don't currently have a teaching position, but by coincidence, I actually, for a few years, taught flute at Montclair State University. But this was after I had moved to the town, so it just was a coincidence. But I was there for about 4 years teaching flute.
It sounds like a natural fit. And congratulations with your new position with the New Jersey Symphony. Tell us what that entails.
I'm so looking forward to this. Well, there's a number of commissions that I'll be doing. So I'll be writing for the orchestra. There will be some curatorial programs. So we'll be presenting special programs in and around the state of New Jersey. And I'm really, really looking forward mostly to opportunities to collaborate with local community organizations in the area and other arts organizations. This is something that personally I'm very interested in my own work. And because I live here and my family is here, I'm especially excited because I have a special interest. And I think it's just a really wonderful opportunity for me to do this kind of work locally in my home state and with a really excellent, amazing ensemble.
That's great. There's something very special about being able to live and work and give back to the community that you care so much about. But you have a performance coming up at Merkin Hall in New York City, September 24th. That's pretty big news. And it previews your forthcoming album with one of today's leading string quartets, Ethel. What can audiences expect to hear at this concert?
Well, this was a project that's been years in the making. Ethel and I, first and foremost, we are really great old friends. I've known them for years now, and they approached me about writing something for the 5 of us, and it kind of just grew into this entire commissioning project where we did a call for scores, and then after going through many submissions, we selected 4 other composers to write original pieces for flute and string quartet. And those composers are Migi Miyajima, Xavier Music, Sam Wu, and Leila Lanzalotti, who was a recent runner-up Pulitzer Prize finalist. So it's a roster of really, really fantastic emerging voices in the contemporary music world. It's super diverse. There's a lot of varied harmonic language, a lot of different imagery, I would say, is conjured throughout the program. It's a lot of fun. Ethel is known for being a really kind of fun, jamming string quartet, if you can imagine. So it's not a typical, I guess you could say, flute and string quartet concert in that way. So we're really just going to rock out as friends and do, and it's going to be a great time. And before our concert, actually, Merkin has a fall preview free event that's hosted by my friend and colleague violinist Curtis Stewart, and that's going to be free. It's going to be fun. There's going to be music, and just kind of like party leading up to the concert. So I think it's going to be like a really, really great night with a lot to offer.
Wow, Allison, that sounds incredible. And just to clarify, is this your first composition for string quartet and flute?
It actually is not. It is my second. And I
Okay.
wrote, yeah, I wrote another piece for a group that's based in Houston. They're called the Apollo Chamber Players. And I also wrote it for the five of us. So I also played flute in the premiere. And in that piece, I actually incorporated a multimedia element, a digital stomp box. So not only am I playing flute and I wrote the music, but I'm using my feet to like play a bass drum, digital bass drum, which is really kind of cool. So, yeah, so there's two pieces now for Flute and String Quartet.
Oh,
That's
well,
so
that's
exciting. So
amazing.
our viewers can get tickets at kaufmanmusiccenter.org for the American
Mhm.
Hall concert. Allison Loggins Hall, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
I love it. She's gonna have a busy fall. I gotta check out some of that music. We love the jazz music. We love
Hmm.
all of that whole shebang stuff. So I'm
And a New
excited to
Jersey
check that out.
Symphony. I mean, what a nice way
Wow.
to ease into fall when you can
Yes.
have some of those, there are some outdoor concerts, especially with the weather being nice. So lots
True.
of fun, lots of fun ahead.
True. Lots of good plans for this fall. And coming up, how sun safety is being promoted at the New Jersey Miles for Melanoma 5K in Morristown.
Yeah, and if you want to learn more about the sun, well, we've got your forecast coming up now. It's a beautiful sunny start to the day and the weekend with highs today climbing into the mid 80s across North Jersey, Central Jersey, cooling off a touch at the beaches, reaching the upper 70s there from Toms River to Point Pleasant, even over in Long Beach. But anticipate a nice dry feeling with a little bit more humidity by Saturday, drying out by Sunday. It still feels great from Trenton and over by Glassboro and Hamilton. Clear sky abounds today. Over the next few days, it will stay nice and dry with the remnants of Francine staying over the Midwest thanks to that nice high pressure, blocking out any storms and even keeping our skies clear with all of the rain staying to our south. So great weather ahead with nothing more than a few passing clouds at varying times this weekend. The Futurecast back here in New Jersey keeps it clear throughout today and tomorrow. Even Saturday might have a few passing clouds, but those clear out by the afternoon, and it's dry even going into Sunday. So a very pleasant feeling around with lots of clear sky and no rain chances ahead, which actually keeps us in a bit of a drought position. So we could use a little bit of rain as we've seen a pretty significant rainfall deficit over the last 30 days. What makes this interesting, though, is these prolonged dry period that even here on the Futurecast you see no rainfall forecast for the next 5 to 6 days until we get to probably Tuesday or Wednesday timeframe. That's our next opportunity to see some rain. That actually, this dry weather keeps the foliage forecast to be very vibrant when we get those chilly nights followed by the warm sunny afternoons with all of the persistent dryness. Notice the dew points, or the measure of how much moisture is in the atmosphere, is quite low, so it'll stay comfortable with limited humidity going into the upcoming weekend. And we like that. Even the long-term trend here, the yellow bars showing the dry, comfy days, and then you go to the green bars where there's a little more humidity, but obviously that coincides with the rainfall that's forecast for next week. Here's the drought monitor. It's mostly South Jersey. You see the area shaded in yellow. That is back to abnormally dry conditions. But again, great weather ahead for the beaches. The boating weather looks great as well with sunrise time there nice and early and sunset approaching 7 p.m. So here's that rainfall deficit I was talking about. Notice most of South Jersey 2 to 4 inches below average as it's been quite dry down there. So that persists with the lawns again starting to get kind of brown, especially if they're not watered. The northeastern section of the state picked up quite a bit of rain. The tides, a new feature here on the New Jersey Morning Show. Tides happening later on this afternoon between 3 and 4 p.m. and then later on tonight between 9 and 10 p.m. And water temperature staying nice and warm in the low 70s. We'll take a check of that 7-day forecast. You don't want to miss it. It's coming up when the New Jersey Morning Show continues after this. Welcome back to the New Jersey Morning Show. I'm Mike Favetta, along with Dina Deleasa-Gonsar. Dina, Bruce Springsteen's wife and E Street bandmate Patti Scialfa has revealed she was diagnosed with cancer. She has multiple myeloma, a form of blood cancer. The news came out after a documentary about the band was released last weekend.
Oh, that is heartbreaking to hear. She talks about her cancer diagnosis in the film. Springsteen and Scialfa married in 1991. She has been a member of the E Street Band since 1984.
Yeah, it's sad when you hear things like that. But, with obviously the treatments getting better and better every year, we hope for the best outcome for her.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, the Melanoma Research Foundation is partnering with Coolabah to promote sun safety at the New Jersey Miles for Melanoma 5K in Morristown. Here to tell us all about it is Chief Communications and Marketing Officer for Melanoma Research Foundation, James Merrick, and PR and Events Manager for Coolabah, Robert Burns. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
Good morning. So if you could tell us about this event and its significance.
Absolutely. The Miles for Melanoma program was initiated by the Melanoma Research Foundation about 20 years ago. It's a nationwide series, and we're really excited to come back to the New Jersey community to really help raise critical life-saving funds for new treatments that will ultimately impact a community that really is affecting about 1.4 million Americans today.
Now, the mission of this organization, kind of runs deep. Can you tell us more about the Melanoma Research Foundation?
Absolutely, yeah. We were started in 1996 by a melanoma patient who, at that time, was really concerned about the lack of treatment options for patients afflicted with melanoma. Our foundation has really grown to be one whose mission is to eradicate melanoma through funding melanoma research, by educating not only patients, but the community writ large, and really advocating at both the federal and state level to ensure that there are policies in place to really help those with the greatest need.
And that is really important. And James, can you tell us about Coolabah and your role in the event and the partnership?
Absolutely, yeah. We're really proud to partner with Coolabah, a sun protective clothing company. There are some really critical steps that folks out there can take to ensure that they prevent melanoma. Of course, the daily use of sunscreen with an SPF of at least 30, wearing UPF protective clothing from brands like Coolabah is also really important. Making sure that you get an annual dermatological skin check is, of course, the most important way to prevent melanoma. So we're really excited to partner once again this year with Coolabah to bring sun protective clothing to everyone in New Jersey.
Yeah, and
Robert, we have to give you a chance. Yeah. Tell us more about Coolabah.
Yeah, we're super excited about it as well. One, to be able to have this partnership again with Melanoma Research Foundation, but two, to really push the importance of skin protection. I mean, to the point that everyone's going to be out there, keep in the back of your mind, about 20% of the world's population is living with some sort of skin condition. And that's why it's so important. We mentioned and we talked about putting on sunscreen, and that's great, but you have to remember to put on sunscreen every 2 hours for it to really be effective. How many people at events like these, especially going into the later part of summer into fall where the sun is still out there, how many times are they going to remember to stop? Hey guys, this is fun, but let me reapply real quick. And so that's why the shirts that are passed out at these events, hats like these that the first 100 people who show up to the event are going to be able to get, that's what really protects not only your arms and your skin, but really the head, the neck, places that you forget about. You think I have sunglasses on that's going to cover my eyes, but the rest of it is still susceptible. So it's important to keep that in mind as you're going to these events. And for the people that are out there, have fun, but remember, it's for a great cause that we're going to be out there this weekend.
And that is so important, those reminders, because I feel like I'm guilty. I'll put sunscreen on my daughter over and over again, but I'll forget that I need it too. And just wondering from both of you, and maybe we'll start with Robert in this case, why is this event so important to each of you?
I mean, if you think about it, I mentioned, 20% of people are going to be living with some sort of skin condition, and most everyone has some sort of connection with cancer. And in this particular case, in my family, there is a history of skin cancer. So being able to be a part of something like this, where it raises funds to continue research to help people just live a better life and at least stay happy, stay healthy under the sun. That's the most important for us. When you're out there, you don't want to have to think about this stuff. You just want to enjoy yourself. And then when you get home, life picks back up. And so that's why it's important for me to be a part of this, but also for Coolabart to be a part and have a
Hmm.
partnership with the Melanoma Research Foundation.
And Robert, can you share with us what this event means to you and your organization as well? Or James, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Well, for us, it's,
Oh,
yeah.
no problem, no problem. Yeah, no, I would really echo Robert. As I mentioned earlier, there are about 1.4 million Americans living with melanoma today. We know that in 2024, there will be over 200,000 people diagnosed with this disease. The fabulous news, of course, is that melanoma is about 93% preventable. So we're really excited to get out there and make sure that folks are educated about ways to prevent melanoma. Of course, including, really making sure that they're getting their Coolabart gear and staying safe in the sun. All while we raise really critical funds that will continue to fund innovative treatments to help those living with melanoma today.
That's great. And Rob, can you quickly tell us where can we find out more information and where can folks go to sign up for the event?
I think you guys will have a link on your website on where to sign up for the event. You can also go to the Melanoma Research Foundation's website. They have the link on all the information you need with time to show up. You can register day up. That's the best part about this. You can still show up if you're seeing this. You can register today or show up. They'll be able to have you there to help out and support the walk. And if you're more interested about Coolabart, go to coolabart.com, where you can also find the hats and anything else that you may need for whatever outdoor activities may be coming up.
James Merrick and Robert Burns, thank you so much for joining us today on the New Jersey Morning Show.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
What a cool event. And I mean that, without the play on words. I mean, it's really, really exciting to see that sun safety, even this late in the season, as summer's wrapping up, is still that important.
For sure. I mean, you're always hearing about even just the elements as you're just walking outside, some people walking to and from work. That's why they say always be wearing some form of sunscreen. So for sure, awareness around this subject is needed. I'm speaking personally. So coming up next on the New Jersey Morning Show, we head out to Giants Stadium for a look at FanFest.
But first, we take a check of your weather forecast. We've got beautiful clear sky ahead, not just for today, but for the next several days. Dry, sunny weather prevails across New Jersey, with temperatures climbing into the upper 80s on Saturday. A little bit of summer-like humidity returning briefly on Saturday afternoon, making it feel like summer doesn't quite want to leave. High of 86. Certain places may touch 90, a little bit cooler toward the beaches, and I'll have that South Jersey 7-day coming up next. With Sunday's weather drying out, you'll notice the humidity dropping, temperatures cooling off a touch, and then we fall back into the 70s by Monday. And it's that stretch of 70s that keeps us in the 70s, with clouds building each day through Tuesday and Wednesday. Likely overcast and rainy conditions arrive by the middle of next week. And that Wednesday, Thursday cloud cover may turn to rain if a tropical system forms offshore off the Carolinas by the end of the week and into early next week. So that's something to be seen. The 7-day forecast for the beaches, much cooler by at least 10 degrees, especially with a little bit of a breeze off of the water. So while water temperatures are in the low 70s, the beach temperatures are right there on the sand, will likely reach the mid to upper 70s this weekend. Both days, Saturday and Sunday. Stunning. If you like local summer, this is the time to go to the shore, with Saturday and Sunday really looking spectacular. Even nighttime temperatures only cooling off into the mid 60s. So just that little chill that arrives after sunset, which is just after 7 p.m. By Monday and Tuesday of next week, we'll bring back a little bit more cloud cover and keep the clouds around, with, of course, the rain likely and the chances going up by Wednesday and Thursday of next week. We've got more weather coming up for you right here on the New Jersey Morning Show. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the New Jersey Morning Show. I'm Mike Favetta here along with Dina Deleasa-Gonsar. Dina, Giants Fan Fest took over MetLife Stadium as fans gathered to celebrate 100 years of New York Giants football.
From the youngest fans to the oldest, the event was a perfect mix of history and excitement. On New Jersey's Lisa Marie Falbo spoke to fans at the event.
We're here at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford for the New York Giants Fan Fest, sponsored by Wendy's. And it's a special one because Big Blue is celebrating their 100th season. Let's take a look at all of the fan fun.
One of the biggest highlights was the parade of the team's top 100 players of all time, as fans cheered on the legends who made Giants football what it is today.
It's wonderful. It gives us a chance to get to see them, the Giants, old players and the new players, so I'm having fun so far.
Wendy's, the event's key sponsor, brought the excitement off the field as well. Fans participated in interactive games and walked away with exclusive Giants merchandise and prizes.
This is the Giants having 80,000 people come to the stadium, regardless if you have the money or not. No cost for parking, no cost to get in, and just have a good time with your family. What's Wendy's all about? It's all about family. It's all about Dave Thomas and do the right thing, give something back. Giants are giving something back here. We wanted to be part of it.
From on-field activities for kids to up-close moments with their favorite players, FanFest was a day filled with memories for Giants fans of all ages.
It's a great event. I've been attending the event since I was 3 years old, and this is one of the best events because it's 100 years. So let's go Giants.
I get to get autographs, you get to play, you get to be with my friends, my family, and stuff like that.
It's amazing that Wendy's would do this. I mean, you got all these fans here. It's awesome. All the fans are together. It's really it's inspiring.
Yes, go Giants! Yes, go Giants!
The night was capped off with a breathtaking drone and fireworks show, lighting up the sky in Giants blue and red, a fitting tribute to 100 seasons of Big Blue. Reporting from East Rutherford for On New Jersey, I'm Lisa Marie Falbo.
Wow, drones, fireworks. What a celebration there in East Rutherford.
That looked really, really cool. And it looked like it was the type of event that brought from many different communities of New Jersey all into one place, which is really neat.
Yep. And the next generation, that baby got its cheer down. So excited to see.
I was cheering along with her. I got it.
Well, Forbes released its list of its top 500 universities in the country for 2024 to 2025, and 16 New Jersey schools are on the list. In fact, New Jersey took the top spot with Princeton University. You can see from the list here, Rutgers, NJIT, Montclair, and Kane are named the top schools. Among the top schools, Forbes used different metrics to compile the list, including alumni salary, student debt, and academic success. And I see that Stevens is on there too. So a lot of great schools here in New Jersey.
Yes, for sure. And speaking of schools, we're moving on to Bank of America's Student Leaders Program connects community-minded high school juniors and seniors to employment, skills development, and service. This summer in New Jersey, 4 students, all rising seniors, had the opportunity to gain valuable workforce skills through an 8-week paid internship at a nonprofit organization in their immediate community while earning competitive wages.
Joining us now is Alberto Garofalo, President of Bank of America, New Jersey. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. It is great to be here. Thanks so much for having me.
Thanks, Alberto. So what can you tell us about the student leaders?
Absolutely. Well, listen, oftentimes high school students are looking for really something meaningful to do over the summer. As a matter of fact, I was one of them. I'm sure like you growing up. I personally grew up in Hudson County. And in some areas of the state, it's difficult at times to really get a head start on work experience. We also have an incredibly robust not-for-profit community across the great state of New Jersey, and they don't always have the resources to really bring on the talent to guide them through the important work that they do. And that's where we step in. So each year we choose high-achieving high school students to connect them with the important work that's happening in the nonprofit organizations across our great state of New Jersey. They intern there for the summer, and look, they gain the skills that will ultimately benefit them down the line. We pay them a competitive wage for the summer so that the nonprofit doesn't have to incur, obviously, that expense.
That's wonderful. I mean, I think that cultivating the new generation of the workforce by giving them a chance to connect with companies or nonprofits that they are looking forward to working with, I mean, there's nothing better than real world experience. And Bank of America has been running this program for quite some time in New Jersey, about 20 years. As you look back through the past couple of years of doing this, are there any students that have stood out to you or kind of stayed close to your heart?
Yeah, look, I think, well, first of all, I am personally inspired by the skills and the curiosity of so many students that we've seen over the years. To your point, we've been running the program for over 20 years. Matter of fact, some of the earlier students are now in their late 30s, if you can believe that. And we've had the same program director for 17 of the 20 years, and we keep track of everyone that goes to the program. As always, incredibly talented. It's pretty humbling, actually, going through the process and seeing how incredibly skilled many of these students are. But one that stands out for me was Annalise Diaz, who was a student leader in 2022. And she happened to go to Memorial High School, which is where I went to high school. So go Tigers in West New York, New Jersey. And she was the first person from Memorial High School to apply for the Student Leaders Program. She interned at the Boys and Girls Club of Hudson County. She's now a sophomore at Yale, studying political science and economics. And look, I have no doubt that she's going to go on to do amazing, amazing things. So certainly that's one that stands out, but frankly, all of them are pretty extraordinary, and we can go on forever if I were to talk about such a rich experience that I've had, frankly, over the years, seeing it personally.
Wow, that sounds incredible. And, speaking of talking about other things, there are other initiatives that Bank of America is doing in the youth workforce. Can you tell us more about those New Jersey programs?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, we realize that there is a very important need for skilled workers across the state, primarily in technology and or STEM. And one of the things that we're working with that we're incredibly proud of is we're working with Liberty Science Center specifically to close that gap. We're supporting their high school of the future. And the first student who entered that program just graduated this past spring, and they are very well positioned to enter the field and take on jobs with great pay and great benefits. Again, to the point we just made earlier, creating a unique opportunity that they may not otherwise really have the visibility or the opportunity to see on their own. So really excited about the partnership with the Liberty Science Center.
Wow, that sounds incredible.
Thank you so much, Alberto, for coming on and sharing with us this amazing program and for all the work you're doing for these very deserving students.
Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to be here.
What a great program,
I
Dina.
know. I wish I knew about that.
Yeah, how there are, like you mentioned, there are some areas that need that extra boost, and there are companies willing to give that. So that's exciting for the future of young students here in New Jersey.
So the kind of stories we love to hear. The New Jersey Morning Show continues with more Jersey news, talk, and weather after this.